Hi. Hello to all of you. Hello to all of you who have signed in. I'm looking slightly tired today. I wonder why I'm looking tired. Okay. Welcome to Bedtime Stories with VJ. Who's VJ? I'm VJ. VJ is looking slightly tired today, but that's okay because today's story is a story which is full of excitement. There's adventure. There's thrill. There is some amount of horror, but it's going to be fun, fun, fun. I promise you that. So I'm Vijay, and I come to you every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays with stories that are written by me. Stories that I have a wide, vivid imagination for, stories that I pick up from real life, stories that I am inspired by from incidences from real life, stories that are meant only for you children, stories that are here to teach you children to be strong, to be brave, to be kind, to be nice, and to love and share and care. So, what is today's story? Today's story is about a boy named Moksh. Do you know any boy named Moksh? Well, I know of a boy named Moksh, and let me just. Yes. So, today's story is about a boy named Moksh. And what is so special about Moksh? Moksh, let me tell you what is special about Moksh. Moksh was a boy who had a very vivid imagination. He would spend hours and hours and hours dreaming about dungeons and dragons, of castles and sword fights, of monsters and fire-breathing dragons. So that is who our friend Moksh was. He always egged his mother to buy books like these, and he would spend most of his time reading through books about kings and queens and warriors and uh, superheroes. Every night, just before he went to sleep, he would read a book. Sometimes he would get so engrossed in reading the book that he would forget to sleep and he would stay awake the entire night reading the book. And then what would happen? He would fall asleep after the book finished or in the morning. And then his mother would shout at him, Moksh, get up! You have to go to school! Moksh, how can you be so lazy? Because Mama doesn't know that Moksh has been up the entire night reading a book. His mother was tired of his behavior, and because him not sleeping in the night would mean that either he would miss the school bus in the morning or he would fall asleep on his bench in school. Moksh, you have to stop doing this. The teachers are complaining, beta, and now I have been called by the principal. I don't know what to tell her. I'm sure she's going to expel you or suspend you from school. What will we do? Thankfully, Principal Ma'am did not expel Moksh, but she let him off with a warning. The next time the teachers catch you sleeping on the bench, we will make you stand outside the class. Or better yet, we will make you wash the bathrooms in the school. Would you want to do that? No. That night, Moksh could not sleep. He wanted to read his book, but his mother had taken away all the storybooks from his room and packed them away. She said, now you will concentrate on your studies, you will finish your exams, and only then will I give you your books. Not fair, thought Moksh. I'm good in studies. I even get good grades. I even won the science competition. Why is Mama punishing me like this? Why are the teachers punishing me like this? I fall asleep in class, but they can wake me up. No, why are they punishing me like this? Moksh sat crying on his bedroom floor. He cried and he cried and he cried and he cried, and then he shut his eyes and put his head on his knees. Suddenly, from under his closed eyelids, he saw a bright light. He opened his eyes and he looked. There was bright light coming from under the bedroom door. He looked up. What is this? What is that light? Did Mama switch on the passage light? No, that could be not it, because the passage light was not so bright. What was it then? Moksh slowly sat up and he crawled to the door. The light was so bright, and then Moksh saw a shadow looking up and down, up and down. It was like someone was walking up and down the passage, and the light coming from behind him cast a huge, scary shadow. Moksh got scared. What was it? Who was it? What did it want? I don't know. Moksh slowly crept up to the door and then softly called out, "Hello? Hello? Who's there?" No one replied. "Hello? Kaun hai? Who's there?" said Moksh a little bit louder. And now you know what? Moksh heard something. So he put his ears to the door. And you know what he heard? He heard. What did he hear? He heard. Who was it? What was it? Who is it? Who is it? Why are you not replying? Who's this? Who's this? Tell me who you are! Cried Moksh loudly. But you know what he heard? A louder growl. Moksh now got truly scared. Who was this? What was this thing on the other side of his bedroom? It was not human, because humans don't growl. What was this? Moksh went back and he thought, what can I do? What is this? Oh my God. But then Moksh picked up his courage. He said, I have to find out what this is. So he slowly crawled back to the door, and then he put his eye through the keyhole to see who was on the other side. And you know what happened? As soon as he put his eye to the keyhole, he went back. You know why? Because staring back at him from the other side of the keyhole was a red fiery eye. Oh my God! Moksh was sure that it was a demon or a monster who had come to kill him and eat him up. Oh my God! Moksh was now sweating and on the verge of tears. He almost cried. But then he thought, if there is a monster right outside my door, he has probably attacked my mother too. Maybe she's out there in the living room bleeding. Maybe she's hurt. Oh my God, I have to do something to save her. So he decided, no, I will not let this monster scare me. No, I'm a brave boy. I will do something. And he went, he picked up his cricket bat, He held it above his head like this, and he went and he opened the door in a rush. When he opened the door, what did he see? He saw a huge monster. The monster was looking at Moksh. The monster took a step forward, and Moksh, brave Moksh, took a step forward and held up his bat. The monster took another step forward, and this time he breathed out fire. And when he did that, Moksh took his bat and he swung it with full force and he went tang! As soon as he hit with a tongue, he fell with a thud. He heard the bat hitting the monster, and you know what happened? Nothing happened to the monster. Instead, the monster caught hold of the bat and pulled Moksh towards him. Moksh screamed "Ah!" and screamed "Ah!" and fell down with a louder thud. Dum! When he went dum, Moksh opened his eyes. And what did he see? He saw the monster standing next to him. But wait, that was not the monster. That was Daddy. What is Daddy doing here? And what is that thing in Daddy's hand? You know what that was in Daddy's hand? That was one of the storybooks that Moksh had under his pillow, and Moksh had rolled it up, and he, in his imagination, he thought that was a bat. And he thought his father was the monster. And when he swung his imaginative bat to hit the monster, his father, the monster, his father, caught hold of his hand and took the imaginative bat, the book, from his hand and pushed him, because Moksh was in his own wild dreams, and he was dreaming that there was a monster, and the monster had come to attack him, and he was fighting for his life, and that is why he, in his sleep, he hit out at his father, and his father caught him. Now Moksh felt really foolish. He was sitting on the ground crying, while his mummy and daddy watched him bewildered. Ye kya ho gaya? From that day on, Moksh promised not to read scary books at night before going to bed. And he promised his parents to focus on his exams first and then on storybooks, because while books teach us a lot, storybooks can sometimes distract us from our studies. Right? So, all my lovely children who are now preparing for their exams, promise me and promise your parents that you will focus on your studies. You will not read scary books at night before going to bed, and you will get good marks. All right, with that, I end tonight's episode of Bedtime Stories with VJ. I hope you enjoyed the story. This time I tried to bring in some demons and monsters and wild, wild imagination and dreams. I hope you liked it. Please drop me a message if you did like my story and tell me what more you want your stories to tell you. All right. Good night. Take care. Stay safe and study hard. All the best. Mwah.